Hey everybody, today on the Geek Perspective, episode number 88, we are doing, guess what? Chocolate covered scorpions. Are you ready for this, Tom?
We will see. A little
All right.
nervous.
This and more. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? What's going on, Tom?
No, then what's up, man? How you doing?
Not much. Boy, getting on here today was a pain in the ass.
Oh my god, I was so frustrated, dude. I was I wasn't ready like at 3:30 like you, but I right around 3:45, and I was logged out of everything. My computer must have updated, and then checking with you, and you were having issues. I was just like, oh my god.
I think issues are part of our show now.
I know, man. It's just soon they won't be. Soon you will have a new setup, and we
Yes.
won't knock on wood, won't have any more issues.
God willing. God willing. So, have you watched WandaVision?
Not this week's yet. So I usually save that until like Sunday when I can sit down, I'm not distracted because they're just so in the episodes are short, but there's so much in those episodes that you got to pay attention to that I like to give that show my undivided attention. So I'm excited. Right. I haven't read any spoilers, but I did read like just the titles of some of these articles. I guess a lot happened this episode. So
yep, it's I tell you, we discussed it a few episodes ago about how I felt about the early episodes. It's such a great show now. And, at the beginning, I was kind of like hokey about how they were doing episodes of old shows and paying homage to old shows.
I love that.
It's worn me down. I'm liking it more now. I don't know if it's because they're doing newer shows or what, but yeah, it's a really good show. I'm enjoying it.
It's a lot of fun. See, I love that aspect. Like the first episode sort of being like Dick Van Dyke married Tyler Moore and Bewitched, and that just hooked me because, like I've said it before, and I say it a lot, but I'm not a huge superhero movie guy. I'm not, you know what I mean? I've probably seen 5 total Marvel movies since the whole MCU's been a thing, and that might even be high 5. It might be less than that, but and I didn't know a lot. Like I didn't know anything about Vision before this show, and I knew just very little peripheral stuff about Wanda. So it's So it's a very, very good show. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Yeah, I was in the same boat you're in. I didn't know much about either one of them. I was not a big fans of them when I was a kid. I was mainly focused on the main people in the Marvel universe. But I watched Lovecraft Country. You finally got me to watch Lovecraft Country.
So, what'd you think?
It was awesome.
Right?
It was awesome.
Right, dude. So good. Jordan Peele producing it. What he is doing in this horror genre right now, it's just phenomenal what he's putting out right now. I can't wait for they just announced the cast. I should have wrote it down. I didn't, of his next horror film coming out, and it looks so I'm excited about that. But yeah, Lovecraft Country, man. So happy you finally watched it that we can talk about it. It so cool. Just such a cool show.
It's such a cool show that, like, don't think we should break it down episode by episode.
Yes.
Maybe do like a small segment, like a 5 or 10 or 15-minute thing, just talking about the episode. Because just shoot an extra episode on just reviewing it.
Yeah.
Because that deserves definitely a review. If you haven't watched it, Tom is 100% right. You have to watch it.
It's HBO. So I've said it before. I cut the cord, but I have the HBO Hulu combo there. And it was funny. I only signed up for the HBO to watch the final season of Game of Thrones. And then I signed up for the free month, and then they gave me a deal to extend it a little bit. And then I'm just like, there's just so much good on HBO. Oh, that's right. I only pay $7.99 for the HBO. I was like, with the amount of good stuff that comes out on HBO, I can justify $7.99, an extra $79.99 a month to keep it. So I did. It's so good. So speaking of which, did you start watching? Because I think I saw that you did The Watchmen.
I finished it.
You did finish it, okay? Because I can see what you watched, and I had seen that you were on episode 2 at one point. So what did you think of that?
I was confused at first what was going on because I hadn't seen the movie.
You don't need to see the movie.
So I expected to see more heroes. I liked it. I did like it more than I thought I would, which is why I hadn't seen the movie. So I'm like, I'm not gonna like that. But I did like the show. I like the way they did it. It was well done, and the actors. There's some great actors on the series.
Mm-hmm.
It's another real good show.
Yeah, I had seen the movie, and I can't remember even 30 seconds of the movie, really. Besides, the only thing I can remember is what Dr. Manhattan looked like in the movie. That's the only thing I could remember. So I was a little leery at first, but then I had read a review and that said, "Oh, it's almost better if you haven't seen the movie." Some people were saying, not everybody, but some people were saying it's almost better. And I had seen it, but I didn't remember. And I really liked that. The opening scene in Tulsa, which nobody in the United States knows about because they don't like to teach what happened in Tulsa in 1929 there, right. where the white people just did an all-out assault on black people and like bombing them from those little glider planes, and that's actually really happened too. Those planes in that first scene and stuff, those were people, farmers that had those, and they were flying up there and trying to shoot black people and shit from the planes.
It's crazy.
And it's crazy that that's not taught. The whole Juneteenth thing. It took the whole BLM and George Floyd getting horrifically murdered, to make people even somewhat conscious of what happened in Tulsa at that time. So it's kind of sad.
Craziness. So that brings it all to light. So it was good. Do you think there'll be another season?
So what I had read was that, what's his name? Lindelof, whatever, the creator, he also was part of Game of Thrones. He had no intention of doing a second season. And some people are like, well, that's kind of good, because anytime that guy goes beyond a single season, he ruins shows and stuff. But then I've read that, other people are interested in extending the story. So I would be down for it, as long as it's they can build on that story and keep it as tight of a story like it was there. I'm all for it. So, but it gets a little weird when you start, getting different directors, producers, writers for the next season. So it could go either way. What do you think?
From what I saw, it looked like it was going to be one and done. But yeah, I mean, that happens a lot now. They plan for one season, and then depending on how popular the show is, they bring in more people to do a new season. And you just hope, like you said, they don't screw it up.
Yes.
Keep with the story. I don't mind if you change it a little bit and add to it. Mm-hmm. But keep following that straight line of where it's going. You know what I mean? Keep that flow, and then I think it'll be fine. How about Lovecraft Country? I'm not sure if that's going to be a new season. Have you heard anything about that?
I just read an article about that. I'm actually glad you brought that up. So they haven't made a decision yet. HBO is still milling about. In this article, they're leaning towards yes, but it's not definite either way, because HBO has to give it the green light, and then from there, the producers like Peele and the other guys that produce it will then have to have a story. So it looks good. but you never know. And plus, with COVID and everything, we've seen what's happened with a lot of shows like Glow. You know, they filmed an episode of the final season, then scrapped the whole final season. So you never know. I'm really hoping they do another season, because that was a great show.
Yeah, that can go a lot of different ways too, because it's such a, I don't want to say out there, because like sometimes that sounds bad, but it's a show that like you can do so much and have so much fun with it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes you think. It really does. It's like
And Jordan Peele, come on, Jordan Peele, he's the man.
Dude, like I said, what he is doing with in the horror genre right now is just, between Get Out and Us and this, it's phenomenal. Oh, and he was the host, helped produce Twilight Zone. I think he was a producer or executive producer on Creep Show as well. I mean, this guy, he's becoming the modern day Hitchcock without all the shadiness that Hitchcock did back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I shouldn't laugh, because Hitchcock did some pretty awful things. So,
all right. So, I think I might have told you about this. Yeah, I did tell you about this. So, without giving it away, because I want to see what people listen to our show and watch our show, what they think it could be. There is a new challenge coming within about a month or so. And I want to know what you guys think it could be. It's a challenge that we have done, to give you a little hint. And I'm going to be doing it. I don't know about anybody else on the crew. I doubt it. But yeah, it looks ferocious when I saw it on YouTube. It was oh boy. Comment below if you think you might know what it is.
You might be able to get Shay to do it with you.
True.
You know, she may be down. I don't know. You know, I don't know, but maybe she would be down for it.
And stay tuned. We're gonna be doing this soon.
Oh yes.
You guys to think we haven't forgotten, so we'll be doing that soon. But yeah. So everyone watching, what are you guys watching? You watching any good horror, sci-fi, comedies? You know, comment down. Let us know what you guys are watching. Maybe we'll watch something that we don't usually watch if you guys think it's good.
Yeah, or if you want us to like review something, let us know. First of all, like I say to Roy, I'm always looking for new shows to watch and stuff like that. But hey, if you guys want us to watch something and talk about it, I'm more than happy to. For sure.
Definitely. And stay tuned for the coming weeks, because Tom and I have been discussing the future of our channel.
Mm-hmm.
And we think some pretty cool stuff coming up. We have to get together and work on it. Talk to Derek and, things, places we want to do. So stay tuned for that in the coming weeks. We'll keep you guys updated. You know, we're not going anywhere for our few films we have. But, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing some new fun things. So stick around for that. And before we get to the challenge, make sure you like, subscribe, and click that little bell so you stay up to date with all our cool content we have coming soon. So with that, are you ready for the challenge, Tom?
I guess. All right. So here we go. The dessert scorpions. Yes.
I actually ate lunch today, even though...
All right.
Wait for a minute. Oh, we're back. So yeah, all right. So let's open this up. See what we get.
So I'm looking at it, and I know it's hard to see here, but in the plastic, it's See, I have no controls today, Roy. I can't see comments. I can't do my screens or anything. So, but yeah, you can kind of see on his as well. It's in the shape of the scorpion, so it looks like it's just very, very lightly covered with some chocolate. It's not like it's pretty much the full scorpion, small one. Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's good, Roy.
Broke a piece off.
Yeah, one of my pinchers broke off on it. That's all right.
Oh, my old tail broke. Son of a bitch.
So how are you gonna try to eat it, Roy? You gonna just pop it all in and chew it in one bite? You gonna try to?
That's my plan. Do it all at once.
That's my plan too. I gotta grab some scissors here to open the plastic.
Holy Jesus! They don't want you to get into this. Oh, wait a minute.
I know. That's why I'm grabbing scissors. I looked at that. I said, "Geez, that's some plastic there."
Open.
And then, guys, in the future, we have these little larvettes, they call them, worm meals that we'll be doing in a few weeks. And then crickets. They finally got the crickets back in stock. Ooh. And we'll be doing that in the future.
The tail, which I'm going to be eating the tail too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The tail broke off. Everybody at work is like, is the pincher gone? Pinch.
Yeah.
He'll stab you. Stab you in the eye.
There's mine. I got the other piece of the pincher right there. So let me know when you're ready, Roy, and we'll do a 3, 2, 1, and then go do it.
Sure.
Whenever you're ready.
You want to count down? You want me to count down?
I'll count down.
All right.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. That's a weird taste. Definitely a weird taste to it.
I think you can let Nestle Crunch. One of the nurses at work said that. She tried it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, weird aftertaste to it. Yeah, definitely like a crunchy chocolate, but a little weird texture to it too. Ugh.
Yep.
Ugh. Oh, the aftertaste is awful. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like, ugh.
Almost like grainy.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, that's a good description. It is kind of grainy. It's like you can kind of, as you're chewing it, you kind of feel the pieces of it breaking up in your mouth.
The shell. You can feel the shell.
Yep. Yeah.
Worse things.
Yeah, it's not the grossest thing I've ever eaten, but
if you didn't know it was a scorpion, you would think it's just a weird chocolate.
Yeah, you would think I would think it was like an old chocolate almost, like that had been a chocolate that had been sitting around for a couple months maybe, right. And yeah, because it's got a very I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's a very unpleasant aftertaste to it. And I feel like I have little pieces in my teeth right now.
Same here.
It's yeah. Ooh. Ugh. Boy. Ugh. The aftertaste is just getting worse and worse. Oh man.
It's almost like it's like sandy.
Yes. Yeah. Like you said, grainy, sandy. Definitely. Yeah. Like after you swallow, there's still like little granulars in your mouth or something. It's
little crunchies.
Yeah. Ugh. Whew.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, that was a little quick thing, but it was
it's I have one more left.
Yeah.
So sometime what I'm gonna do is I have some of the Carolina Reapers, dried Carolina Reapers.
Oh, yep.
I'm thinking unless we can get someone to try it. If we can't get someone to try it, what I'll do in the future is I'll crush up one of the Carolina Reapers and put some of that on it, and then eat it like that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we'll do something different with it.
Yeah, that's yeah, definitely. That was a very, very different different taste. Yeah, I won't be running out to eat another one of these. That's for sure. But I'm glad I tried it. I always like trying new things.
Right.
You know, no matter what. That's how I am with food. I'll try almost any food once. You know, just one, because how do you know you're gonna like it if you don't try it? It's like, and plus I've always said it's like me personally, and this has gotten me into trouble in the course of my 40 years on this planet. But I've always said, like, even as a kid, I wanted to experience almost everything in this world. Like, I don't want to get to the age of whatever 60, 70, 80 and have all these regrets that I didn't try things, you know what I mean? Or that I lived a boring life or whatever. And that's what I worry about for some I won't say who, but I worry about for some people. It's just like, dude, you don't know until you try it. And then do you want to wake up at 60 and be like, man, I never tried anything new. I just stayed in my lane. And that's why I moved everywhere too, because I just wanted to experience it. That's why I've lived like, you know, like all over this country from one end to the other and north, south, east, and west. So it's, yeah. That way you have no regrets at 70. Or I don't think I'll even live that long, but whatever I do, live to. At least I can say I tried everything. So
right. Yep, I agree.
But yeah, so then, like I said, we have these warm meals, and like I said, we'll do the crickets, these things. I don't know. Like Shay, when I showed it to her, she was just like, "Oh yeah, I'll do those." She was like, "Yeah, that's worm meal, no problem." So I a little curious. These are cheddar cheese flavored. Like I said, Roy's going to be coming down this way, and when he does, we'll head over to that FYE because they have the crickets. They also have the checkers game that Roy you want to get, the hot sauce checkers there that on sale. You know, I think it's down. It's either down to $20 or like $17 now or something on sale. So it's which I think that would be a cool episode too if you played somebody in that checkers.
That's what I want to do. I want to get someone to play the checkers. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
It's a game we can play more of because we can. Basically, what the checkers is, they're a little cup, and there's a cover, and inside the cover, on the hot. I don't think they're the death nuts, but they're peanuts that are hot and spicy, like really hot.
Yeah.
So I think the way it goes is if I jump you, Tom, you have to eat the hot peanuts. Jump eats the hot peanuts, and then you keep going, and the one that wins eats less than you know.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun to do.
Yeah.
Actually, real quick before I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I actually thought about doing a game day also. I have Rich Almquist and his family got me one year a Friday the 13th Freddy Krueger game. We thought about maybe one day do a trivia thing and actually trivia questions and stuff.
That'd be a lot of fun. I'm down for that. You know?
Yeah, we had talked about it, but again, that's part of what we're talking about for our future of our channel. Doing more fun things, you know. And like I said, we haven't ironed things out yet and how we want to do things and what we officially want to do. But that's our plan. So stay tuned for all that. And we keep you updated.
Yeah, because there's also, I had told you when we were discussing that last time I was up there, Roy, you were just showing me the game. And then I said, yeah, there's a Friday the 13th board game and there's a horror Trivial Pursuit that I want. The only reason I didn't get the horror Trivial Pursuit because it was $50. And I was like, $50 for a board game's a lot, even though it's be fun. But those are two other games we're going to look into maybe and figuring a way we can play it on air and have fun and keep you guys and get you guys interacting and engaged with us because it'd be a lot of fun and we love our horror stuff here. So we're just horror fans. Yeah, and we're looking to do a lot of different things. So it's got a lot of cool stuff coming in the future.
Speaking of that, I don't know if I told you, Oh, I did tell you. I thought about pretty much everything. I got a new on Pristine Auctions.
Yes, you did tell me.
I got a new Jason mask, and it wasn't cheap. But this mask tends to cost a little extra money.
Yeah, I tried to bid on one of these, and it was going high. That for this person. Sorry, keep going.
No. And I've been on a few of them also, and you kept saying that it bids high, and I was like, I love the franchise. I'm like, I will say it wasn't over $100. I will say that it was not over $100. I'm not that crazy, but I did pay a little more than I wanted to. But again, it's for Friday the 13th is one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I said, what the hell?
Yeah, like I said, I'm always looking. I kind of like kicked myself because I could have gotten a one that was signed by both Kane Hodder and Ari Lehman for like 52 is what it ended at, and I thought it was going to go a lot higher, and I waffled on it just because I already have Ari Lehman, and like I kind of wanted a Kane Hodder just on his own on one. But I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting it at $52. That's pretty for two autographs.
I paid more. I paid more than that for this third mask.
Oh, yeah, that was just random, and that was during the week because I work nights and stuff, so it's like I'm always up at that time, and I'm always checking. And some nights it's just not as crazy as others on that on the site, because it's just during the week. Where weekends they tend to go a little bit higher and stuff. So I will get more. I'm actually hoping that. So, like, these cons actually happen this year, especially the Rhode Island Terracon and maybe Terrificon, and then I can, meet them too. Because I really do. If I get an autograph, I like to meet them. But I've made exceptions. I know you have because of COVID and stuff. So it's and to get all the Jasons, I mean, it's pretty hard to meet every single Jason in person. So. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully these cons will be happening this year. Hopefully.
So Rich asks,
yes,
any excitement over Snyder's cut of JLA, Justice League of America? I don't know how I feel about it. How do you feel?
I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, he took the movie, and I guess they're reshooting some things. I guess from what I've been, hearing on YouTube, he's making it more dark rather than comical. So it's gonna be more of a darker version of the movie.
Okay.
But I'm like, I don't know. If it's the same movie, you're gonna add things. Because I thought I heard the Superman in the black outfit, his black spandex, whatever you want to call it. There's more of that in it, which I think is kind of cool because I like that. I actually like that. That looks pretty badass. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a DC guy. I'll see it when it's free, but I'm not excited. I'm not jumping over the moon over it. One thing I will say about it is, and I think is one of the issues with the DC. Marvel built up all their characters before they did the big movie, before they did the Avengers.
Yeah,
DC should have taken their time. Built up all the main characters that they wanted to do for that. Build them up. Then do the JLA. I think that would have been a better thing to do. They seem to rush it. Like they're trying to be like Marvel. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just because I'm a Marvel guy, but Marvel to me has always been better than DC in general.
They made a mess with DC. Like you said, they jumped the gun on too many movies without establishing characters, stuff like that. And then just that the universe, they could never get off the ground properly because it goes back to what you were saying, I think, is they didn't establish it. Because aside, like I was talking to a guy at work the other day because we were talking about Marvel, and because I was talking about WandaVision, and I was like, and told him about how I'd only seen 5 Marvel movies. And then he was like, yeah, what about DC? He goes, I know it's Batman and Superman, but who's in it beyond that? And I go, that right there is in the problem. That everybody knows Batman and Superman, but the casual fan beyond that, it becomes a stretch on what they know, because DC has not familiarized people in these most recent years to the characters and who's important within these stories. So it just, like, the movies have been a mess, which is a shame, because there's a lot of great DC character. I mean, I'm more of a Marvel guy too, personally, always have been, but there's a lot of great characters and stories in the DC. I mean, Dark Knight was great. Like, I thought the Dark Knight trilogy, especially the first Dark Knight, I thought it was an exceptional movie and stuff. But beyond that, it's like most of the movies, in my opinion, for DC have been very forgettable.
Are you telling me you didn't love Batman vs Superman?
I think I fell asleep in it. I don't even know what happened at the end. So,
man, I was so unhappy with that movie. I was actually looking forward to that movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, even when they finally meet, when Batman and Superman meet, I mean meet head to head, not just meet in the movie, but meet head to head for that battle, you should get chills.
Yes.
They're arguably two of the biggest characters in all the Marvel DC universe. I'm not saying they're bigger than Marvel guys, but they're right up there with them.
Easily. Characters. Yeah, they're right there with those guys.
Yeah, they're iconic. And that when they met, people should have been jumping out of their seats, and I'm sure some people were. But man, when the Avengers get together, people were going nuts.
Yeah,
like it should have been that level. And shame on DC for not having that happen, because they screwed up.
Yeah, they really did. They could do such cool things with it. We saw what Marvel was able to do from the Iron Man movie on, just how they were weave that universe together and offshoots and come back in, and then to all the way to Endgame, and now we're seeing what's going on going further now. And they just could not get their shit together, DC, and it's unfortunate.
It's a shame,
because they really, I mean, people love their superhero movies. People love them, and it could have been so huge, and that would have been really cool, because you talk to most people now, DC or Marvel, and I'm going to say 8 out of 10 people are saying they're Marvel people now. I'm just because the way Marvel has treated their universe versus DC. And before, like, the Iron Man movie and the MCU, I don't know, because almost every person in America knows of Superman and Batman. So, and to squander those two superheroes, two of the biggest superheroes, it's a shame.
Yep,
really a shame. Yep.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room. So
yes.
So I have a crappy computer, and we've been talking for a while, but I'm great. I can't even talk. I'm going to upgrade my computer, and after if you watch our show from the beginning, I was shitting on Apple for so long, totally shitting on Apple.
Oh, he's so angry about everything. Fuck Apple. He had this irrational hate for Apple.
It was despise, despair. I just hated it with a passion. It could die tomorrow and I wouldn't care, kind of thing. But yeah, now I'm actually going to be buying an Apple computer.
Mm-hmm.
Because for what we're doing, it just makes sense. Like right now, my computer is telling me, no, I'm hardwired in, and StreamYard's telling me that I have an unstable connection on my computer. I'm on my phone doing the show right now, but I have my computer up for the screen itself. If you see me looking up, kinda, it's because I'm looking at my computer monitor, my laptop for the video, and my internet Wi-Fi is off. But it's telling me my Wi-Fi connection's bad. So you figure that one out. Something's skewed here.
Yes, Roy is coming to the dark side. He got an Apple phone. I remember he was even against the iPhone. He just he everything. Anytime I would bring up Apple, he would just get.
One thing I will say about the other phone, it's a good phone. I like it, but I don't think it's better than Android.
I've only had one Android phone, and it was a terrible one.
Yeah.
So I can't really say because it was just it was a bad phone back a lot of years ago.
I've been fortunate. I've had the two best phones in the world. I've had the Samsung Galaxies, and now I have the Apple. And I have always said that these are the two best phones you can get. And I tell people, even when I hated Apple, I said if you love Apple, get the Apple. But if you go Android, get the Samsung, because I believe those are the two best phones.
I agree. I've heard good things about like the Google Pixel and stuff. I'm just, once I got the iPhone, I've been an Apple Mac user for 20 plus years, or right around 20 years now. But even so, my first smartphone was actually the Android. I had put off getting a smartphone forever. I was one of those guys. What do I need the internet for? Blah blah blah. Everybody had a smartphone, and then finally I relented on a smartphone because it was cheaper for me to get the smartphone versus like the flip phone. At that point, it was just so I switched over, and so I got the smartphone, and it was the Galaxy S3 Mini, because I like the Mini. I'm not a huge fan of really big phones just because I'm a guy. We don't carry purses. So it's like I got to put the phone somewhere, and my pockets aren't that big. I don't need a phone that's like a surfboard. But yeah, that phone, it was terrible. And not to mention the kid was like, oh yeah, it's a great phone. And then like less than 3 months later, the 4 was already out. And I was like, well, that's awesome. They've already on to the next generation. This kid told me it was a great phone, and it was terrible. So I went with the iPhone, which I should have done in the first place because, like I said, I've been a Mac user, Apple user since the early aughts. I have my iPad Mini 3. I have the original iPad over here. I have my laptop MacBook. It's old. It's over 10 years old. God, it's that. I have, I just plugged in. I just found my iPod, my iPod Nano. The phone. Apple's the way to go, in my opinion. To each their own, but Apple's just so easy too. It's just so easy. You're not downloading stuff and doing it. Just you want to update something, you hit the button, yes, and you walk away. You don't have to. There's no packages and downloaders and all that nonsense. It just boop, and that's it. And that's what I like because I'm not. Like me and Roy, we're a little bit older, and it's like we're not native to technology like kids are. Like we remember when, most people didn't have computers in houses. We remember corded phones on the wall, rotary phones. I still remember my grandmother having stuff like that. Like computers, internet was all new to us. So it's like these kids now, they've never been in a world without it. So they're great with it, where it's like, I'm completely self-taught on a computer. Even when we had computer classes in school, like high school, it was more about typing because, the monitors were still green and black. There was no color on the monitors. To do an action, you had to type run after everything for it to actually do stuff. And, So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So you got anything else for the people for this episode?
Well, I've been just doing this at the end of our episodes because we've been talking about how a lot of people have been passing away. And I granted, I've only been mentioning 1 or 2 people per episode because if I were to name everybody that's passed in these last 2 months, it would just be a whole episode on its own. But I figured I would mention 2 more. One, like I said, regardless of what you think of someone, it's always sad when someone dies. I'm not a fan of this first person. I don't think he was a very great person or anything, but Rush Limbaugh died. Again, whatever you think of him, it's still sad that somebody died. He was 70 years old, and he died. But on you know, on the other person I'd like to mention, and this one makes me sad because I was a huge fan of these guys in the 80s and into the 90s. Loved them. They don't get the group that he was part of does not get enough due for how influential they were on the genre of hip hop and rap. Because a lot of people thought they were just kind of like a joke group or whatever because of the movies or whatever, but they were really, really talented. And that is Prince Marky D of the Fat Boys, passed away at the age of 52. And so
I think they're all dead. I know that he was still alive.
Yeah, he was.
They were big for a short time. They were big.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the movies, everything. Mm-hmm. I believe he was Puerto Rican, Marky D.
Yep.
And yeah, I like growing up, man. Like I was a huge fan of the Fat Boys growing up. I just like because I was still young in the 80s and into the early 90s. I was still young-ish, and these guys were just for a few years, like Roy said, larger than life. These guys, they were just everywhere. The Fat Boys, and yeah, I like, in my opinion, they don't get enough due. If you do a Google search, you can see all the people that shouted out. Like Eminem had said a lot of cool stuff, and yeah, they were icons in the industry. So rest in power, my friend.
Yep, rest in peace. So make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done it, because that way you can stay up to date with all our cool content and for our future endeavors, because some fun stuff are coming. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So make sure you stay tuned for all our updates, because we have some exciting stuff coming. Well, we think it's exciting. So make sure you comment on this video. Let us know what you guys are watching. And we got more challenges coming up, more cool stuff, more stuff on that. So for Tom and myself, everybody, have a great weekend. Talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.